What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and today I'm checking out another new deck for the profile that I have not done just quite yet, and that is Salamangreats. I think it's so interesting that Firewall Dragon was just put to 3. They put it to 2 in the OCG on their most recent ban list, but we just get it back. And is it still good? I don't know. Is a compulsory evacuation for like whatever amount still good? I would say yes, as a quick effect too. And if you're using it in more dedicated cyber stacks, like Salamangreat would be an example, although there's more advantage obviously with like either pure cybers or like adignisters, but still Salmangreat still falls very much in that category. And you still have these really powerful trap cards and this really consistent engine with a bunch of hand traps in there. So I'm going to show you one combo I found. I'll put the like where I found this in the description. You go give that guy a like and a subscribe. I just had no idea what these cards did, so I wouldn't be able to explain it to you guys who are new to the deck as well. And pretty much, like, if you have a Lady Debug in your hand and a Spinny and let's say a Will of the Salamangreat, like, you are set up. So I'll show you with like this hand, like these 3 cards. Okay, so you can go ahead and normal summon the Lady Debug. All that does is let you add a level 3 or lower Cyberse monster from the deck to the hand. That target is whatever combo you do is almost always going to be Salamangreat Gazelle. Now you can convert this Lady Debug into a Salamangreat Balings, which is very nice because this doesn't have to be a Salamangreat monster. Its requirement is just a level 4 lower Cyberse, which that obviously is. And Salamangreat Balings can go ahead and search this Salamangreat Sanctuary. So if you don't know, Salamangreat's, the whole idea behind it is reincarnation link summoning, it's called. Just means that the link monsters can link upon themselves. Like a Balings can go into a Balings, the link 2 can go into a link 2, and so on. And they all have effects when they're reincarnated link summoned. That's really all it does. There's one other effect, but it won't really come up. So Spinny, it just needs to be in the graveyard. So if you didn't have it in your hand, Sign Up Mining, would be able to search it for you. So it's very accessible. But since a Salamangreat monster was activated, that pops off Gazelle, lets it special summon itself. And also Foolish Burial Salamangreat card. And what you probably want to do is send him a Salamangreat Roar. It's an Infernity Barrier, spell trap, or monster effect. You can destroy it. Very cool. And you can convert both the Balings and the Gazelle into a Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. So when a monster special summons to its zone, you can add a fire monster from your graveyard to your hand. So you can also put your resources back into the graveyard if you want to. And when it's reincarn link summon, you can activate the effect to add a Salamangreat card. So if you had a trap card in your hand and you sent it off of Sign Up Mining, you could pitch Roar and search the other one. Because Roar actually sets itself back on the field. Or you can add it with it, because when it sets itself back from the field, it actually banishes, and this wouldn't, of course. Anyways, then you can activate Will the Salamangreat, which is just a monster reborn for the deck. Go ahead and activate that effect to special summon back this Gazelle. You don't have to worry about it just yet. You can link those 2 off into a transcode talker, the Salamangreat Wolf and the Gazelle. Transcode talker effect is to special summon I think it's a link 3 or lower Cyberse monster from the graveyard. Very cool. Spinny can go ahead and activate. When it's in the graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. I think you have to just control a link, Salamangreat monster other than itself. And now the Transcode Talker and the Salamangreat Spinny can go into a Firewall Dragon. So you can target monsters on the field or in the graveyard up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card. So anytime your opponent activates effect, you can just bounce it, or a monster, you can just bounce it right back to their hand, which will most likely stop a lot of their plays. And on top of that, Salamangreat Wolf is going to add back, a Gazelle you can, and then, like I said, the trap cards can end up setting itself, which is very nice. So there it is. I think a lot of Salamangreat combos would end just in Wolf and Roar, and this just adds another thing on top of it. And like I said, Salamangreat has a ton of hand traps in this, so you probably won't have all these like extenders in your hand. A lot of the times you're gonna have at least one card that you'll want to disrupt your opponent, which is kind of nice. I think that's really cool. And the fact that I was kind of against Firewall, like getting an errata, like kind of keeping as this historical piece, but it's kind of nice when it's back because the effect is really cool. And this is kind of the like I said, just everybody kind of knows about this combo here. All it does is it's an access code talker for 2 attacks, and I think you get like 2 or 3 pops out of it at the end too. One of the only decks, of course, that can have a 2 attack access code talker. So it's essentially like the same. If you have the same pieces in your hand, you can do this as well going second. Lady Debug adds the Gazelle to the hand. Convert that into a Baylynx. It's going to seem very similar here. The Baylynx can add Sanctuary. Go ahead and activate that. Spinny can target it, get itself out of the hand by just giving this 500 attack, which is all cool. Gazelle, since a Salamangreat monster was activated, you can special summon itself, and that lets you Foolish Burial a card. Now, I ended up sending a Roar, but if you just so didn't happen to have a Will in the Salamangreat, you could also send that as well to Monster Reborn. But since I have it, you know, you might as well just like add a little bit of advantage for yourself. You can convert the Baylynx and the Salamangreat Gazelle into a Sunlight Wolf, which can go into itself. And yeah, this is when you would grab the Salamangreat, or the Will of the Salamangreat, but yeah. And Will of the Salamangreat can go ahead and Monster Reborn. It can actually Monster Reborn for 1, or it Monster Reborns by 2 by sending itself to the graveyard and targeting up to the number, the linked number, so it's obviously 2. Salamangreat can send a card back into the extra deck or a card to your hand, but since I wanted to just add another Sunlight Wolf, that's fine. And you can convert the Salamangreat Gazelle and the Spinny into an Update Jammer. All this does is when it's link summoned into another monster, that monster can have 2 attacks. Well, there you go. Access Code Talker's effect, you can go ahead and target the Salamangreat Roar, and the second effect will be the Jammer. So this will be up to, let's see here, 4,300 attack, which is enough for a game going second after you pop cards, which is nice. All right, well, those were 2 combos for Salamangreats. Hopefully that was a decent introduction, and maybe you just want to understand the deck a little more, which is what I wanted to do mostly. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and hope you have an absolutely wonderful night.